So welcome to part 2 of my tutorial on blushes. So let's just get right back into it. And how do you choose your finish of blush? Really, my best little trick for that is just match your finish to your skin type. If you're super oily, don't do a super shimmery finish. You can still use shimmery stuff, you just want to use it in moderation, and your cheek is just not, generally speaking, the most flattering area to put that shimmer. Keeping it more on the lids or as a highlight is usually a little bit better. It makes your skin look a little bit less oily. Um, if you are a really dry skin type, shimmer is your friend. It can be your friend because it makes your skin look a lot more hydrated and can make it look a lot more fresh and dewy. And then like a satin or a skin finish is really kind of the healthy medium between both worlds. If you are doing something that has a lot of contouring, I generally don't like using something that's got high shimmer to it. I do like working with matte colors a lot more, just because you really can't control the lighting that you're in always. So if you have a really shimmery product that you're using to contour, or you're using a really dramatic blush, if you hit the light in the wrong way, it can really look like you have a big band of glitter along the side of your face, and that can look not so hot. So just really use a healthy medium between the two. Just really choose your look accordingly, depending on where you're going to be, what you're doing, and what your skin type is. And just kind of think of when the finish is on my skin, what do I want the focus of my face to be? So if I want the focus to be my cheeks, shimmer is going to draw attention to that. If I just want it to look like I have more sculpted cheekbones, it's going to look more natural if it's more of a skin or a matte finish. So that's just a really good rule of thumb for doing that. What else? For fair skin tones, or medium skin tones, honestly, the world is your oyster. You can pretty much pull off any blush color depending on, with I mean, undertones are going to play obviously a certain role in it, but for the most part, it's kind of like having brown eyes. Within moderation, you can pretty much do anything. Pinks look really good on you. Warmer golden colors generally look really good on you. Pretty much, like I said, the world's your oyster. You can do pretty much anything. If you're really fair and you're looking for a really more natural blush, or you have a lot of redness in the skin, definitely I would recommend picking a blush that has a lot of brown in it, as long as it's not a really ruddy brown, just because that can give you the effect of a blush without putting more red or more pink into your skin. So I definitely use brownish colors on people that have a lot of redness in the skin. It usually works really, really well. So that's my tip for that. And for really, really warm or golden undertones, for me, you can't really tell because the camera really washes me out, but I have an extremely golden undertone. I'm not yellow, and I don't have red or pink in my skin. I'm very, very golden. Apricots and gold colors look fantastic on warmer skin tones. Really bright, kind of orangey colors look really, really, really good. They don't read orange on the skin. They just work with your natural undertone and kind of warm up and brighten up the face. So those are really, really pretty. And for women of color, reds, gorgeous on women of color, especially like the really, really deep skin tones. If you have more of like that purple undertone in your skin, hot pink, like seriously, like bright hot pink, gorgeous, looks amazing on a darker skin tone. For more of that reddish undertone, just a bright, like almost like fire engine red looks gorgeous on. NARS makes a blush color called Exhibit A, and it is my absolute favorite thing to put on a really deep woman of color that has more of a reddish undertone to her skin. Just absolutely fantastic. And like I said, hot pink is my favorite thing to do with like a violet undertone to the skin because it just looks so, so pretty. The colors don't read quite as bright because there's so much pigment in the skin, so they just pop. Because if you try to put like a light pink blush or something that doesn't have enough intensity in it, it just washes out the skin on a deeper skin tone, and it just reads kind of ashy, but that will give you the effect of just a really nice, pretty, like bright cheek. The other thing, my favorite thing to do and a deeper skin tone is bronzers just really highlight the skin, especially if you don't want to wear a lot of blush. You don't want that look. You just want that definition that blush can give. Like a really golden bronzer looks really pretty. So, yep, so that's colors. What else? Looking through my notes. What should your blush match? Generally speaking, it depends on the look you're going for. There are really no rules with makeup. I like to use the lip rule. Blush should always match the lip. And the lower portion of the face, blush and lips, should coordinate with the eyes. So if you're doing a really dramatic look in the eyes, the lower half of your face should be a little bit more neutral, just so the attention is on the eyes. Actually, you know what? How I should word this is pick your focus. If your focus is on lips and cheeks, then you can go nuts on the lips and cheeks. And as long as your colors coordinate, they're going to look good. If your focus is on the eyes, keep the lips and cheek really neutral. Otherwise, there's too much going on and the eye doesn't know where to go. So with the exception of theatrical makeup, or if that's the kind of look that you're actually really going for, that's a really good rule of thumb to keep in mind. If your undertone in your skin is a neutral undertone or a more cool undertone, anything in that family, that color family, is going to give you a more natural look. If you're warm, anything in the warm hues is going to give you a more natural look. Excuse me. If you do the opposite, if you flip it, that's going to give you that more defined and sculpted look. So, yeah. And then as far as using blush to sculpt in conjunction with bronzer or highlighter, my big rule of thumb is just when you are doing this, you don't want to layer products on top of the other. If you're going to highlight the upper portion of the cheekbone, blush here, and if you're going to contour, do a contour color underneath. Don't do all of them on top of each other, just because that gets too much product all in one place, and it has a tendency to look kind of crazy. So definitely work separately, work in layers, and then just kind of blend the few together. Yeah, I can't talk, sorry. What else? And then the other thing I will say, one of my favorite tricks in the whole world is when you're doing a blush, what I'll do is I'll take my blush color and I'll put that on, and then I'll put it on the other side. And then whatever I have left in my brush, I'll just really gently sweep that over my face, focusing more on like this portion of the face, just because it really ties all the color together and it looks really pretty. I don't ever put extra product on the brush to do this. I just use completely what's left over. So that's a trick that I like. And the other thing that I'll do is I'll take a blending brush and I'll just go over my whole face. I won't just blend the areas that I do blush on. I'll blend the entire face just because it really melds all the colors together and makes everything have a nice synergy and work really well together. And then the other thing I'll say is if you're using a really high quality, if you have really high quality eyeshadows that are pretty much basically just pure pigment, really experiment with using some of your shadows as blush. You don't necessarily need to buy a bunch of separate blush colors. A lot of shadows can work as blushes as well. You just want to kind of be careful about the amount of shimmer or flecks of gold if you're using like a reflex sort of product or something that's got really chunky glitter in it. But a lot of, especially matte shadow colors, just look gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous as blushes. Like bright red shadows, again, as I was saying, women of color are really pretty, and hot pink shadows are really pretty. There are a lot of really pretty pinks that you can use as, it's just pigment. Shadow is just pigment. If you look at the ingredients on a lot of shadows from a lot of companies, they're the same. They're just different sizes and different packaging. So why waste your money buying two separate products when you have a whole menagerie of things that you can use, and really experiment by mixing things together to see if you can get a different effect. Your hand is your canvas. Really use that to your advantage and kind of play around with things, because you can do a lot of really cool things with just the existing shadows that you have without buying a whole bunch of other blush colors. So sorry this got so long, but thanks for watching. I hope it was informative, and please comment, rate, and subscribe.